morning. Here we are. All right. So it's not really morning for me. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm recording these lessons. I'm trying to get this finished because I have a big test I have to study for. It's coming up on the 16th. So I'm trying to get all my schoolwork ready. So y'all will have something to work on while I'm studying. And my little ones in the background are not very happy. I'm going to close the door. I'm sorry I haven't been able to see you or Zoom with you or anything, but I've been talking with your Nana and she says you're doing pretty well. So I'm anxiously awaiting this. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with English. Now, last week you didn't have any English lessons. All you were doing was doing some research. And your Nana told me that you were getting some notes. So I'm glad about that. So you should be finished with taking notes. If you're not, then don't watch the rest of this. If you're finished, then you need to keep them around you. In fact, what you're going to need is you're going to need all your notes, your cards. You're going to need a pen or a pencil and some paper. Okay, so you'll need all your little note cards, a pen or a pencil, and some paper. Okay, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to organize your notes and how to start your outline. Now, you do not have to finish it today, because I'm going to let you kind of finish it tomorrow too. So you don't have to do this. We're just going to do a little bit right now. You probably would want to do a little bit after our lessons today, just working on it a little bit, but it does not have to be finished today. You'll finish your outline tomorrow. So like I said, work on it a little bit now, a little bit when the lesson's finished, and then you can finish it up tomorrow. Okay? All right, so we're going to go through here. Okay, so here's what we did. Steps for writing a good research paper. So you chose your topic. We decided those main ideas. Remember, you were going to write about George Patton, General George Patton. The three main ideas were his education, his military experience, and then what he did in World War II. Okay? So then step number 3 is where we are, what you've just finished, I think. Read and take notes. Okay, so we're on step 4. Now from 4 through 9, it'll be pretty fast. The longest part is taking notes. So today we're going to start learning how to organize your information. So let's go through here. This was narrowing down our topics, and this was going over paragraphs, which we'll go back over this again at another point. Okay, you took your notes. I'll put this on here for you to have an idea. Okay. Let me skip through here. All right, so taking notes, this is where we left off. Now, this is to organize and outline. So basically what you'll do is you're going to take all of your note cards. Now, you probably should have around 15 note cards. You might have a few less, or you might have some more, and that's okay. It's way okay if you have more. If you have fewer than 15, you're probably going to have to use all of them. If you have more than 15, you're probably going to have to pick and choose some to use and some not to use, and that's okay. Okay, so remember how we said that we have 3 main topics. Our whole research paper is going to be talking about General George Patton, okay? But he lived a long life, so you can't write about every aspect of his life, could you? That's why we chose 3 things. We chose to write about his education, his military experience, and what he did in World War II, okay? So you're going to have 3, you might have 4 piles of cards. So what you're going to do when we're done, okay, or you could do it now, I guess. You could pause it, is look at all your note cards. You might want to get on the floor. Spread them all out around you. And all the ones that are about the same things, put them in a pile. So you should have a pile with education. You should have a pile, and it's probably written at the top of your card. It's supposed to be written at the top of your card. All your education cards, all your military experience cards, and then all your what did he do in World War II cards. If you have other cards that don't have written at the top what it is, then you either don't have to use those, or you can add those to which one you think it should be. Okay, I hope I'm making sense. So, like I said, you should have at least 3 piles. You have to have at least 3, because we have 3 parts we're writing about. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and pause this, and go ahead and get your cards out and make sure you have 3 piles. 1 on education, 1 on military experience, and 1 on what he did in World War II. Okay, you should have all of your note cards organized. Okay, now if you feel like you don't have enough notes, you can go back and take a few more if you want to. You may have enough. I don't know. It's hard to know. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at doing an outline. Now, I don't know if you've ever done an outline before. I don't remember teaching this to you. I do know in one of our reading lessons this week, don't remember which one it is. I want to say maybe the one for Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure. In your reading lesson, you're actually going to have an assignment on one of your pages that teaches you how to do a simple little outline very similar to this. Okay, now here's what an outline does. The best way I can tell you. Okay, so listen to this. Okay, so your mom goes to the store and she buys you a package of new underwear, new socks, new t-shirts, new shorts, and that's all. Okay, so when she brings you all that stuff, is she just going to give you those packets and say, here, just stuff them in one drawer? No. Well, she's not, because I do that sometimes, but we'll just pretend like she doesn't do that. We're just going to pretend like you have 4 drawers in your dresser. You might have 2. You may not even own a dresser. That's okay. We're just pretending, okay? Say you have a dresser and you have 4 drawers in it. You're not going to take all the socks, all the underwear, all the shorts, and all the t-shirts and cram them into one thing, are you? Of course not. What are you going to do? You're going to put the underwear in one drawer. Then you're going to put the socks in another drawer, and the t-shirts in another drawer, and the shorts in another drawer. That way they're all organized, and you can just look at it easily and say, okay, these are all my underwear, these are all my shorts, all this, all this. That's what an outline does. An outline takes all your notes and puts it all in a really nice little piece of paper that you can just look at. It's hard to look at all those note cards. You probably have several of them. So your outline is going to look like this. Now, when you have an outline and you're organizing your notes, this outline is a very simple one. They can get very confusing, but we're going to do a very simple one. So you see these right here. These are Roman numerals. You probably already know that. This is Roman numeral 1, Roman numeral 2, and Roman numeral 3. Notice that each Roman numeral has a topic, and it's one of the topics that you were supposed to have researched. So Roman numeral 1, each Roman numeral is a paragraph. So each one of these should be a paragraph. Your topic sentence when you start writing is going to be about what that paragraph is about. Okay? The A, the B, and the C are just little details. These are where some of the notes are going to go. You might say, well, I've got more than 3 on each of those. That's okay. You can do a letter D and a letter E if you want to. You don't have to. But you need to have at least 3. Now, I think the rule is that if you have an A, you've got to have a B. You can't have an A by itself and just one little note. You've got to have at least 2. But I put 3 here because it's very likely that you have at least 3 notes, 3 pieces of information for each one of these, okay? So I'm going to have you to pause this, now that all your notes are organized, get out a sheet of paper and copy down what you see, okay? But where the A, B, and the C are, that's where you're going to put some of your notes in, okay? So pick up your notes with education, just jot them down, not in complete sentences, probably just like you have them on your note cards. Just easy enough to where you can just kind of look at it and see all the information, okay? Actually, you're not even going to have to pause it because this is really the end of the lesson. You're probably going to want to keep this on your screen. So in a second when I say bye, you'll want to pause it and keep that on your screen. Okay, I know that's a lot of information, but it's really pretty easy. Organize your notes and then jot them down on your outline. Now, like I said, you don't have to finish this whole thing today. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So basically, you're just putting in your notes here. Just jotting them down all on one sheet of paper. And I'm going to want to see this outline too, so I want to make sure that you get this done, okay? This is not part of your grade, but I do want to see it, okay? All right, so you can go ahead and pause it, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it off, and I will see you later.